Okay, from this video we are going to generator tab and explain all of this generator in detail one by one. The first generator is subdivision surface. It's a very important and a basic method for modeling called subdivision modeling. It's just a command you have to a 3D model to access them, to assign to it. I want to explain how this subdivision surface work. I explain it with a plane. We have a plane that we have width and height segment. For displaying the segment, you have to change it to graph changing a line. I reduce the segment to 1 and simply add subdivision surface. The first point, the important point of the green, all of the green comment in a Cinema 4D have to, they are apparent. I mean, for example, if you want to assign the green comment to the object, you have to click and drag and make an object child of the subdivision. So the subdivision or any green comment here has to be parent. So you can here enable or disable it. The important shortcut is Q. In the keyboard you can enable or disable it. Subdivision surface works like this. As you can see, we have one line here and one line here. The subdivision surface subdivided and add a segment between two segments. For example, I have this segment here and this segment here. If you assign the subdivision surface to that, as you can see, insert any subdivision, insert subdivision in between them. You can control the subdivision in here. You can change it, increase it. What's the difference between subdivision editor and subdivision render? Subdivision editor is something that you watch here in your editor. For example, if your model is very heavy and you cannot move your scene, you can reduce the subdivision, but this is important. Subdivision is in render. If you output and render it, it's okay. As you can see, you can render it. No. You have to render it in a picture viewer. As you can see, it's correct. But in a viewer, we have less subdivision here. So it's the difference between editor and render. The editor is in your editor, subdivision editor. Okay, it's not very heavy, and we keep this number equal to each other. So you can control your subdivision between lines or point here. And in settings, we have a lots of type of the algorithm of subdivision that I will explain in a second. Okay, turn it off. I want to add, for example, add a line here. For doing that, simply make this plane editable. I will teach you all these lessons. Going to the line or point is not different. Right click and use, for example, loop. You can simply click here and add a line here. Okay. Going back to the move tool to exit the tool, and as you can see, and now we have two lines here that are very close to each other. And if you activate the subdivision, as you can see, the subdivision change its shape. It's try to make subdivision between this line that are very far away and looks like leak, and this is the subdivision surface act between these two lines that are close to each other, and it's bent more and it has more subdivision between them. Okay, subdivision acts like this. It's very simple. It's subdivided between edges. If they are close together, it acts like that. If you are far each other, acts like another way. I bring a cube here. For example, I want to tell you important thing. For example, my cube is here. If you insert the subdivision surface in this way, as you can see in the scene 40, every comment that you insert in your scene, its axis go to center of the software. Here, it's axis of subdivision surface. But my object is here. If you make it the child of the subdivision surface, as you can see this, when you click on the subdivision surface, its axis is here. This is strange, and my cube is here. I want to bring the axis of the subdivision surface in a child option. In the previous lessons, I explained this menu, tools, axis. You can refer to them. Okay, I select a child, and I want to move the axis of the subdivision to the child. So, going to the tools, axis, and center parent to the child. As you can see, if you click on it, all of these axes are in the same location, and you can do it. Okay, this is very strange method for doing. It's a very simple way. Click the object that you want to be subdivided. When you want to make a comment parent of something, you have to hold Alt, holding Alt and then subdivision or all of this green comment, and click. As you can see, it's automatically assigned to the cube, and the cube is child of the comment, and its center, its axis is exactly at the axis of the parent. Okay. For example, I want to make a bend. These are the comments that are vice versa of the green parent, the green comment. They have to be child of the object. For example, if you want to bend as cube, you have to make a child cube. It's opposite of the green. For doing that, as you can see, we have the axis issue here again. For doing that, before you insert any purple or deformer comment in the scene, hold Shift and click. It's automatically become a child of the object, and their axis going to the same location. Keep in mind holding Alt or holding Shift. Okay, that's very simple. Going here, and as you can see, hitting Q. This is a cube that we change it to the circle because it's subdivided. I have, for example, two lines here, and between them the smoothing. But if you increase the segments, for example, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and if you activate subdivision, as you can see, we have a different result because our edges are closer to each other. Okay, make it down again to 1. Okay, I want to show you another thing that's important for subdivision surface, that is an option here. This is an isolating editing. If you deactivate it, sorry, and as you can see, we can't see this isolating because our object is parametric. We have to make it editable, and we can see the previous object in a ghost here. This is our cube that turn to the subdivision surfaces. As you can see, this line is here, and you can change it. And the corresponding, for example, going to the point, and the corresponding point of this is here. If you go into the option and turn the isolating editing again, that the ghost box will disappear, and you can just directly click and drag in a subdivision surface. That is nice for us now. And you can change it. As you can see how smooth is that. This is very important method for modeling that called subdivision surface. For example, going to the surface and you can modeling in holding control to add a another surface, and you can modeling like this. Okay. Going back to subdivision surface in a cube, I want to tell you something important about weighting. The option turn off isolating surface to seeing the previous object that turned to the subdivision surface in a sphere. We have weighting, for example, going to the point, and I want to, it's not important, it's very change our position here. For example, in this point, I want to reach the corresponding point to that point. This method, this process calling weighting. Hold point or period key in a keyboard and click and drag. As you can see, the this point, the corresponding point, reach the cage point here. Or you can do it with this method is calling weighting. For example, as you can see with click and drag and release, a new tag called weighting reach here. That I will be teach you in weighting in the next lesson. Don't worry, just want to see you what happen if you weighting something. Or for example, in this edge, you can holding point and click and drag. It try to reach the edge, but we have something else that's important for weighting tool. Look at these images. Okay, I forget that you tell you this is subdivision surface. It's an important method of modeling. For example, this is our low poly modeling. Model it really easy, and then simply add a subdivision surface to that, and we can have a final modeling here. Or this modeling, as you can see. And after we making low poly modeling, turn it to the subdivision surfaces. Okay, this is a period key, and if you hold shift and control, do something for you. You can try this. For example, as you can see, if I just holding point and click and drag, it acts like this. If you hold point and then shift and then click and drag, as you can see, it acts like this. You can read this image to more information. When you hold the shift to weight selected point and all edges connected to them, or if you hold control to weight selected point and the edge between them, you can change them here. And there are the same for surfaces, holding period key and click and drag. You can simply, or holding control click or drag, it acts like this. So holding point key with control and shift, it has a different setting in it. Okay, going back to the subdivision surface and its settings. Sorry, I make a subdivision surface like this, holding Alt. Okay. I want to talk about first subdivisions Uvs. Going to the material, I given a simple material to that. Simply click and drag on a parent, and double click on it to and insert a texture. I will teach material editor and now for the, it has so many details in the next lesson. Don't worry. Going in texture and surface, going to assign the checkerboard to that. As you can see, everything is right now. But if you turn off the subdivision surface and work on the polygons, for example, I hitting Ctrl A and select all edges here, and then right click, open it, close it. I right click and insert this. It is internal. It is extrude inner, and make some editing in that. And then if we turn the subdivision surface on, as you can see, we have a problem in Uvs. You can change it between a standard, boundary, and the edge. As you can see, you can test it, experiment it, and as you can see, the boundary option is work for us in here. Okay, this is subdivision Uvs setting. Okay, we're going to the all type of the subdivision surface. These are two scientists that create this mathematical algorithm for subdivision surface, catmull and Clark. Thanks to them, we have all kind of options and type for subdivision surface. I want to first, we have two catmull-clark with n-gon or no n-gon. I want to give you an example. What is this? Going to the move tool, going to the plane, and we turn it down enough, I think, and copy that with holding Ctrl and click and drag, select all and make all editable. Give a subdivision surface to that and give another to that. In one of them, in both of them going, turn it down, and in both of them going to the line and delete one of this line. I don't want to deleting. I use a comment that called dissolve. I will teach you all of this comment. Don't worry. Dissolve. I want to dissolve a edge, and the same position of second dissolve again into plane. Okay. We turn both of them on. As you can see, it correct the n-gon. If I delete that or dissolve that edge, we have an n-gon. As you can see, we have a surface with a n-gon. In one of them, I set the type of the subdivision surface to catmull-clark with n-gon, and in one of them, in this one, I set to catmull-clark without n-gon, and turn both of them on. As you can see, in a this type that it's when you set it to catmull-clark, it's correct n-gon. But if you choose a catmull-clark with n-gon, it shows you n-gon. In some cases, we need to show us n-gon to correct that. So the default mode is with n-gon, that shows you n-gon and correct it, and you can go back and correct your n-gon. If you don't want, you can select catmull-clark without n-gon. I want to give you an example with an image to understanding the difference between this type of the subdivision surface. Look at these images. For example, we have a shape like this that we want to subdivision that as like these images. Want to make our model smooth, and we weighted this vertex here. With holding Control and click and drag, holding the point and click and drag. We weighted vertex here. If we are in catmull-clark, it acts like this, like this. If we are in open subdiv catmull-clark mode, our shape become like this. Okay, you can see difference between two type of the subdivision surface. Another image, we have a initial state. This is our original model with catmull-clark with the catmull-clark loop. It's all of its difference is in a distributing the polygon like this. As you can see, the form of the polygon is changing in all type of the subdivision surface. And an important and interesting type of the subdivision surface is bilinear. It does not smooth your model, it just subdivided your model. It's very important and useful. For example, I have a model like this, making an editable. Select this select this edge, insert that. I will teach you all of them, don't worry. And for example, insert again, going down. I like this model and I just want to subdivide that to have more polygon here. Okay, going back, if I assign it the subdivision surface to that, it's act like this. I don't like this modeling. I just want my hard surface. So simply going to the type and click Open Subdiv Bilinear. As you can see, it's subdivided your model without smoothing that. And it is very important. Keep in your mind for using bilinear, and you can simply add your subdivision here. You can increase or decrease your subdivision in editor and renderer here. The important subdivision number are in a render. It is in an editor, the things that you see that it's not important, but in renderer is important. Pay attention to this number always. Okay, that is all about subdivision surfaces.
Hello my friends, to continue these tutorials on YouTube, subscribe us, like us, and hit the bell icon. And now you will be alerted about all of the amazing videos that we release.